Hi, my name is Joe, and in the last 60 days, I made $35,000 with high ticket sales. In this video, I just want to briefly speak about you're probably in a situation that I used to be in, which was working at a job. I used to work as a construction worker, warehouse worker. I was moving furniture into office buildings. I've been working with food at food fabrics, gas stations. I mean, I've done all the shitty jobs that you can imagine, just being hired as a temporary worker. And then slowly, while doing my bachelor's degree within HR and personal management, I got into a bank and I started working with insurance. And I've seen a lot of like different media outlets speak about like insurance agents, especially on social media, Instagram especially, where I've seen like insurance agents makes a lot of money. And I never thought I would get into that business. But now I'm actually doing high ticket and it started with that. And going from like working on the insurance cases where you're paying out to the clients, I used to make $4,000 per month, 4,200, to now being a salesman. It took me 4 months to make $10,000. And that number was truly special for me for a couple of years because every time I watched like a video of your favorite guru, like Iman Gadzhi or whoever it is, I just, Tai Lopez or I just remember hearing $10,000 per month. It was like a magic word. And I really told myself like when I reach 10K per month, my life is going to change. And it truly did. People say money can't buy happiness. To a certain degree it can, because money is a tool that you can use in order to get experiences, which people with no money can't really get. I'm not saying that your life is going to become substantially a lot better, depending on what you view as better. For me, it's important to have a good establishment or relationship with your closest people, either if it's friends, family, if it's a partner, if you're happy with your job, if you're happy with life, if you're healthy and in shape. If you eat whatever you want, whenever you want, you're lucky, because that's a truly blessing in 2025, where probably like 50% of the world population can't really do that. So you have to put things into perspective. But what really makes me humble and really grateful is the fact that I have a job where I'm actually getting compensated what I feel like I'm worth. Because imagine you go to your job and you're working 10 times harder than the next man, truly. Like you're working twice as hard, 10 times more hard, and you're getting the same payment. It doesn't feel right. Or maybe even making lower because that person started 1 year before you. In sales, you're truly getting what you're putting into the program. You're truly getting what you're putting into the work, which I think is totally fair. So it has its ups and downs because if you don't work, you don't make anything. But at the same time, if you put in the work, you're making a lot more than the average. And in the last 60 days, I made $35,000 profit, which should tell you something. When I worked in that warehouse for 2 years, I managed to make 2.5K averagely. Like at the best months, I was making 3K, 3.5. At the worst, I was making 1.5 to 2K when I was like studying. So let's just say 2.5K for 12 months. That's around 30K a year. Making 35K in 2 months with sales is really something different. It's like making your previous yearly salary in 2 months. It really does something to your brain. Because now you switch the perspective from working hourly because you only have 24 hours in a day. So no matter how hard you work, if you get $20 an hour, let's check it out. If you get $20 per hour, I'm gonna check it here, then you're making 20 times 24, $480 a day. That's if you don't sleep. And if you do it for 30 days, which is even Saturday and Sunday, let's just say it's the average, right? That's $14,400. And if I time it by 2, that's $28,000. I made more. I literally made around $25 to $30 per hour, 24 hours a day for a whole month in a 2-month period, which is absolutely crazy. And the craziest part is that I'm scaling. My goal now is to be frequently at $25,000 per month. And the way I'm going to do it is I'm going to do the high ticket sales, but I'm also going to teach people how to do the same, because I've been getting a couple of messages on my Instagram, which I'm truly appreciative of because I always reply there. So if you have any questions, feel free to, of course, hit me up. But I get questions about how to build an offer, how to get a job, like how do you get a appointment setting job, how to get a job as a closer, how do you even get to education, And you don't need like a formal education going to the school. You need some experience in order to understand how to commit to sales. It's about identity, mindset. It's about truly locking in on who you want to become. When it comes to the sales aspect, there's a lot of psychology. You gotta understand the human brain in a way that other people don't. When a person tells you no in sales to buy your service, usually if they say the same thing 3 times, it's true. But often it's just a human form of objection, where you have to understand objection handling. If not, you're gonna be cut short. And so the benefit of working with sales is that it has actually helped me in other aspects of my life. For example, better communication. It has helped me with dating. It has helped me a lot when it comes to accepting a no for an answer. For example, if I have a business partner and I have an idea and I get a no, then often after proper communication and understanding why, you often find a solution to the problem. And if you can, you just fully commit to moving on. I mean, it's so easy. If I call 100 people a day, then I know I can make X amount of money because I know what I'm selling on average or how many clients it takes me to get one sale. When you have these numbers, imagine if you could do the proper outreach. Imagine if you only were getting hot inbound leads, people who are ready to buy, but they just need one person to understand them. It's a lot of money to be made. And usually you get like 10 to 20% commission. So imagine there's some high ticket sellers who close, let's say, insurance sellers. I work with an insurance. My best month I sold for $205,000. Of that, I made a little bit above $20,000 after the cost of leads. Before that, I made around $28,000. Then you have people who work with selling courses. So these are closers or sellers that are put in a situation where they're going to close a client who wants to buy this course. And the course might cost everything from like $3,000, $5,000, $7,000, $8,000. You get a 10% commission. It's super good. Consultation. There are people out there who are offering consultation. You could get between 10% to 15% of that, sometimes 20. It all depends. But what I'm trying to say is that if you have an everyday life where you can work hybrid, every day you show up on a call, you get the chance to close somebody, you close them, you make 10% commission. How long would it take you to make $500 today? How many hours? If you make $20 an hour, then that's 25 hours of work, which means that if you work 8 hours a day, it's 3 days. You could literally make that in one phone call. So let's say you have a 20% closing rate. What does that mean? That means that out of 5 calls, you close 1 person. Out of 10 calls, you close 2 person. Okay? Now, if you have a 20% closing rate and you want to get to 10K, how does the math look? Well, you close 1 out of 5 clients on average if you have a 20% closing rate, and you get $500 commission for selling a package for $5,000, right? That means that if you can call 50, $500, 20, 150, 100 calls in total, you close 20%, which is 20 people, and you get 500 each, like $500 each. That's 10K per month. That's 100 calls. So let's say in a month you get 5 calls a day and you close 1 out of 5, 10K per month. And it sounds too good to be true, but I'm going to be completely honest with you. I've tried all of the shitty jobs. This has been one of the easiest ones to scale. The amount of pain that I was feeling moving furniture from one office building to another office building into the truck and moving on it, making 1/10 of what I made last month is absolutely insanity. This only means that if you put in the work in order to learn sales, you can truly make 5, 6, 7, 10x of what you're making already now. And it's not even bullshit. If you look up high ticket sales, so many people are making money with it, which is kind of like, it's kind of confusing to me because when I tried low ticket sales, like selling phone services 5, 6 years ago, I was not really making that much money. But high ticket sales have been a game changer because now I'm like, why didn't I do this sooner? It's absolutely crazy how much money you can make being in this industry. And they only need more and more people because now that social media is growing, it's one of the biggest industries in the world, if it's not already. A lot of people are stepping into the social media branding, personal branding. They're selling courses, mentorships, consultations, and they need people to buy. And in order for people to buy, they need good closers. So you literally are entering a market where they need more people with good experience. How do you get experience? First, you get an entry-level job where you work as a high-ticket closer for somebody who's selling a course that might be a little bit more difficult to sell. Maybe a lot more volume, a lot more leads, but they're maybe not hot inbound leads. So now you're gonna kind of convince them, but as soon as you get good, you get placed on a lot of different offers. And you make so much money working from wherever you want. Right now, you might be in a destination where it's a lot of cold. Maybe there's a lot of people who don't think the way you want to think about making 10K per month. I remember when I told people around me I wanted to make 10K per month working in a warehouse, people were angry. They didn't want to listen. They thought I was on some crazy stuff. They were like, nah, he tripping. 2 years later, 20K in a month. I mean, the limit goes as far as your eyes can see for a lot of people. But if you're truly self-confident in your abilities to make money, then you will find a way no matter what. And I'm here to tell you, one of the ways is high ticket sales. One of the easiest ones too. And what I want to do in 2026 is I want to teach people how to learn high ticket sales as fast as possible, get placed with a job offer, and then make that money. Because I have the proof that I made it. And if I can make it, trust me, people can make it too. It's all about being relentless. It's all about truly wanting to commit to the passion and goal that you have. And if you do so for a couple of months, you're already making a lot more money than what you used to. So that has been one of the biggest blessings. And that's what I wanted to talk about today. Like, truly believe in yourself and your capabilities. Take that chance for 2026. Sign up. Even I have a mentor. Even I'm investing into learning. Even I'm making money and reinvesting some of that money in order to learn more. Because what I understand is this: time is valuable. The more time you spend on that warehouse, the more time you spend on that job you don't like, the more you're telling yourself that you're not able to actually commit to your ideas and your vision. You're too comfortable. You don't want to be uncomfortable. You don't want to take a risk. And you know what they say? It's only risk takers that make the money. If you don't know how to take a risk, you don't know how to get a reward. You're too comfortable. You're too tied up in your cage. And so my biggest advice to you for 2026 is commit to yourself. Commit to yourself, your goals, and your passion. Stop listening to people who can't see the vision you have for yourself. Because when you're 30, 40, 50, and you're growing older and you want to establish a family, you don't want to be the guy that's not home, working 16, 18, 20 hours a day, not seeing your family. You want to be at home with your wife and kids, not having to worry about the bills. When you're 60, 70, 80, nobody's asking you, how much did you make in so-and-so month? They're going to ask you about life experience. What is it that you regret that you didn't do? Don't let it be that you're never betting on yourself as an answer. Commit. And so that's my goal in 2026, to help people commit to themselves and their goals, using high ticket sales as a tool in order to make more money. Because I did it, and I'm going to keep doing it. Thank you for watching.